Now that I press record, I realize this is probably the worst combination ever, yellow and blue. Not very good. I don't think you see any jerseys in the NHL that contain blue and yellow that come to my mind immediately, besides the Predators in some areas. Anyways, and the Sabres. Today we are talking about goaltenders, and specifically which ones can win the Vezina. This will be the third and probably final video of the Trophy Talk series, unless if I find another trophy, or I just can't think of a trophy right now, that is like video worthy. There's other trophies like the Lindsay, the Hart, that aren't really, as important as, this. I might make something about NHL 22 because I do put that in the trophy column because I will be in the awards show, whenever the hell that is. So yeah, I might make a video about 22, and then after I make this video, not this week or not this very week right now. Next week will probably be the beginning of the season reviews. So we'll start with Anaheim, go through the teams I missed, and then the teams that got lost in the first round, second round, third round, finals. Then we'll review the winner. So, anyways, we're talking about goalies today and who can win the Vezina Trophy. First off, if you're new to the channel and you haven't already subscribed, please go make sure to consider doing that. This will be the final video that's actually edited and quality for about a week here because I'm going camping from Thursday tomorrow to May 26th, 27th, I have no idea, to the 31st of May. So the rest of May may be a little less videos than usual. I'll try and upload a couple, but I'll mostly be watching playoffs and trying to enjoy myself on a vacation. And then after that, when June comes around, we'll go into that other stuff. But yeah, if you haven't already subscribed yet, please go make sure to do so. And yeah, let's get into the goaltenders because we have to review a lot of goalies here. So before I get into these goalies, if I missed anyone or you're like, oh my god, AD's not going to win a Vezina, and you're like, you missed that one goalie. Let me know down below. I included what I thought was the best goalie from every single team. I know I have different opinions from everyone. Statistically, most of these are statistic-wise, but I put some goalies in here who I thought were better than, the projected starter. Start off with John Gibson of the Anaheim Ducks. 35 games played, 9, 19, and 7. Not a very good season. So, if I were to say on the Vezina winning list that he was going to win it, no. He is nonetheless a great goalie, but, judging statistically, he wouldn't win it, and no, just not this year. There's many other goalies who are better than him. Now, when the time comes where Anaheim is a dominant team, and, they're guys like Zegras and Drysdale and the other guys down below in the system, they grow up and turn into top-notch players, we could see Gibson on the Vezina talk. Definitely. But he more than likely will get overshadowed by guys like, Ottinger, who's becoming his own, Grubauer, Vasilevsky, Nedeljkovic, guys like that. So yeah, I don't put John Gibson on the Vezina winning list this season, but he very well could be in the future. Adin Hill of the Arizona Coyotes, 19 games played, 9, 9, and 1. Everyone's saying like, oh, Kemper or Raanta played better. First off, Raanta was injured for a lot of it. And Adin Hill won us a lot of clutch games, and although we were out of the playoff race, he kept us in it for a long time. I'll give him that. He kept us in it for a while. So I got to give it to Adin Hill. Is he a Vezina goaltender? No. Will he be staying in Arizona with all their goalies being up pretty much? Abso-frickin-lutely. He will be. I would expect kind of a long-term contract for that too, probably like 3 or 4 years. Tuukka Rask up next for the Boston Bruins. 24 games played, 15, 5, and 2. Absolutely, he probably very well could be a conversation for the Vezina. Does he win it? Probably not. I put a lot of other goalies over him. And his future with Boston's super uncertain right now. So I'm going to say that he doesn't win the Vezina. He very well could, maybe in the future. I think he has once before, but yeah, I just don't see him winning it this year. Linus Ullmark of the Buffalo Sabres. Yes, he was the best goalie, although he was injured for a lot of it. And I mean, you'd think that he would have had a bad record in a disastrous Sabres season, but no, he actually didn't. 20 games played, 9-6-3. For a struggling team, and given that he was injured for a lot of it, that's a pretty good record to walk out of this season with. So I think that Ullmark, although he's not going to be with the Vezina, he's definitely going to be a goalie that teams like, let's say, the Edmonton Oilers, or teams that need goalies like the Oilers or the Flyers, any teams like that, they could definitely be going out and looking for a guy like Ullmark. Does he stay in Buffalo? I don't know. He might want to stay in Buffalo, but I don't think he really wants to after this. But, I'm not Ullmark, so. Does he win it this year? No. He very well could in the future if he becomes a well-established. Jacob Markstrom of the Calgary Flames. 43 games played. He's the most out of all the goalies so far. 22-19-2. No. He's almost a 500 goalie when you look at it statistically. Although he was better than what people said he would be, and I mean, I don't blame him for this record because not Vancouver. I forgot it was not Vancouver. Calgary is Calgary, and they were losing a lot of games they probably should have won. And yeah, I think Markstrom played pretty well majority-wise through most of the games that he won and a lot of the games that he lost too. I noticed that a lot. Is he going to win it? No. He could in the future if Calgary can establish it, but it doesn't look like Calgary is going to do it. So, yeah, probably a rebuild coming their way. Alex Nedeljkovic. Yes, I have him as the best goalie in Carolina. 23, not 25. 23 games played, 15-5-3. As a rookie goaltender, he was great. I talked about him in, I think, the Calder video. He was an amazing goalie for the Hurricanes this season. He's been great in the playoffs. As at the time of this recording, they're supposed to play Nashville in Game 6 tomorrow. If they win that, they move on to the second round. So, I'd say he's been pretty good. I'd put a lot of other goalies over him, though. That's the problem. So, I'm going to say this year he doesn't win it. He could win the Calder, though. Depends on what happens. Kevin Lankinen of the Chicago Blackhawks. 37 games played, 17-14-5. No. He does not win it this year. I don't think that Chicago really sticks with Lankinen. They'll give him a shot at the starting role next year, but I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in someone from the draft, like Wallstead, like I said, for Edmonton to do, or they could bring in, let's say, a free agent like Ullmark or Rask or whoever, goes out in the free agency. So, I don't think he wins the Vezina. I don't even think he sticks in the starter net for too long after this. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Philip Grubauer of the Colorado Avalanche. 40 games played, 30 wins, 9 losses, and 1 overtime. Absolutely. I think he will be one of the 3 finalists for that Vezina. I think it probably goes down to him, maybe Tristan Jarry, or actually no, him, Campbell, and Vasilevsky. That is the 3 for the Vezina. That's what I have. So 40 games played, 30 wins, 9 losses. I already said that, but yeah, he's been great this season, and I expect him to do even better in the playoffs, and he already has been. So we'll see if he can win it or not. Elvis Merzlikins of the Columbus Blue Jackets. 28 games played, 8-12-5. Yeah, no. It was just a horrible season all around for the Columbus Blue Jackets. There's really nothing that goes into it besides that. It was just a disastrous season. They're probably going to lose one of their goalies. They could even lose both if it comes down to it. I've heard Merzlikins even wants out of Columbus, so he could very well go to another destination. And I heard they're getting rid of Tortorella. They have Laine they need to sign. They need to bring in more people to help Laine out. They need more prospects. Columbus is kind of screwed. They're heading towards a rebuild that they don't want to be in. I mean, San Jose is in the same column, but yeah. It's just honestly not looking very good for Columbus right now, and I don't know if it'll really get better next year. So he won't win the Vezina, but we could see him somewhere else next season. Up next here, I have the best goalie for the Dallas Stars, Jacob Ottinger. Yes, Khudobin had a good record, but I would put Ottinger over him. 29 games played, 11-8-7. I think for Jacob Ottinger, if he can really bring this into next season, he could very well be a contender for the Vezina in a couple of years. He's been very good for Dallas this season. He kind of helped them in their attempt at making the playoffs. They didn't make it. They came close, but that stuff happens. So, but yeah, for Ottinger, that is great. I don't think he wins the Vezina, but he's been awesome. Jonathan Bernier of the Detroit Red Wings. I have spoke a lot about Bernier. Publicly, I think he's one of the most underrated goalies in the league. I really think he is. Playing in a town that's like Detroit, especially. 24 games played, 9-11-1. Yeah, 9-11-1. For a Detroit Red Wings team who was last in their division, second last, I'd say that's pretty dang good. I'll be honest. I think that, Detroit might stick to Bernier for the time coming here. I think they could find another way to ship off Grice somewhere, or they could keep the tandem, but I think Bernier definitely stays, if they can keep him. I've heard Bernier publicly wants to stay in Detroit, which who wouldn't after what a season he had. Mike Smith of the Edmonton Oilers. Now, today, Ken Holland spoke to the media and saying that Mike Smith, he wants to re-sign him. The goalie had a fantastic year, was what he quote-unquote said. And you know what? I think I agree. With the Oilers, them getting swept and me ranting about them yesterday, I discussed about how they want to keep Smith. They're going to want to keep Smith, although he is pretty old. And they're going to need to find someone to replace Koskinen. Because Koskinen, he really it just doesn't work in Edmonton. Maybe he's someone who, maybe with a change of scenery, maybe he can get his game back on track. But he really just hasn't been good. And if they could get Koskinen to be good, they won't have this problem. But anyways, 32 games played, 21-6-2. He really led them to that second seed. For a while there, was bouncing back between Koskinen and Smith, game by game by game, and then they swapped to Smith for full time, and he came in and just played great. So I think he's definitely a top 5 goalie in the NHL, not like overall, but like after this season, he definitely would be like over. I'm not saying like that are active right now, but he's definitely in the top 10, maybe even top 5. You could put a couple guys above him. Who knows? But I think he could win the Vezina. It just really depends with that. Chris Driedger of the Florida Panthers, I have him there. I didn't put Bobrovsky because Bobrovsky's overrated as hell. And I didn't put Spencer Knight because he played like 2 games. So, 23 games played, 14 wins, 6 losses, and 3 overtimes. He's been good for the Panthers, although I think he's gone to either Seattle or somewhere else this offseason. I think they will definitely give him a look for the Vezina. But yeah, I think Driedger's been very good. His numbers aren't as big as other guys because he wasn't really the starter as much there, but nonetheless, he was a great goalie. Jonathan Quick of the Los Angeles Kings comes up next. 22 games played, 11 wins, 9 losses, and 2 overtimes. Quick was okay. I think relatively, people say that, Quick is the most overrated goalie. Quick is the worst goalie. I really don't think that. I think Quick is a good goalie. I think any of these guys are good goalies. Anyone on this team with anyone on this list with bad records is a good goalie. I think that because I think the team in front of them is mostly not very good. Unless if your name's Mikko Koskinen. But anyways, Quick, he's been okay. And I think for a Kings team that is going to look at some big changes coming this offseason, it's not looking too bad for them. So I think Quick's been very good for the Kings. Does he win it? No. Maybe in the future if, it gets better. Up next here for the Minnesota Wild, we have Cam Talbot. Now, Cam Talbot, I've been a big fan of. And if there's any goalie, because I'm wearing Kucherov right now, I'm not wearing Vasilevsky. If there's any goalie in my entire jersey collection that I would want to get, because last I checked, I don't have a goalie. Yeah, no, I have Hart. Forgot about Hart. But anyways, if there's any other goalie that I want, it would be Cam Talbot. 33 games played, 19 wins, 8 losses, and 5 overtimes. You have no idea how happy it is for me to see this. When he came to Minnesota, everyone was saying, that contract's a bit iffy. Talbot was not that good in Calgary. That's what he played with in 2019-20. And I've seen him go to Edmonton. I've seen him go to Philly for like 2 games. I've seen him go to Calgary. I've seen him go to um, to Minnesota now, and I think he finally found his place in Minnesota. He's been great. So I think if there's anyone that I want to win the Vezina out of any of these guys, although I know he's not going to win it, it would absolutely have to be Cam Talbot. I love this man with a passion. Carey Price is up next for the Montreal Canadiens. We have this discussion every year where it's like, oh, is Carey Price falling off? And look, he really isn't. Playoff Carey Price is what you need to be worried about. If they can make it through the season and make it to the playoffs, they're pretty dang good. So 25 games played, 12, 7, and 5. I don't think he wins the Vezina. I don't think he really wins a Vezina again, to be brutally honest with you. I just don't see it, personally. I don't see him coming back and winning another Vezina. But yeah, you never know. He's surprised me before, so could see it again. Jose Saros is up next for the Nashville Predators. 36 games played, 21, 11, and 1. For a Predators team that was terrible at the beginning of the season. And now look at them. They're in the playoffs. I'd say that's pretty good. But I don't think he wins the Vezina this year, though. So, no. But I think he is a great goalie nonetheless. He very well could win one in the future if Nashville becomes that dominant team again, just like they were before. Mackenzie Blackwood up next for the New Jersey Devils now. 35 games played, 14, 17, and 4. He kind of had a fall-off season. So did the Devils, though, to be honest. So I think next season will offer some hope, but I think Blackwood did play his best. Does he win it? No. But you know what? I think that, I got to give credit to him with it. Semyon Varlamov with the New York Islanders. 36 games played, 19 wins, 11 losses, and 4 overtimes. He was pretty good for the Islanders this season. I wouldn't be surprised if he's at least a top nominee for it. Maybe not like number 1, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's a top nominee for the Vezina. Igor Shesterkin's up next for the New York Rangers. Just kidding, it's Keith Kincaid. No, it's Igor Shesterkin. Although I wanted to put Keith Kincaid so bad on this list, but no, it's Shesterkin. 35 games played, 16, 14, and 3. What looked like a great season for him. I think he's going to become a big starter and a big goalie in this league, and I think he very well could win a Vezina if he tries his best and there's no other goalies that are really better than him. Ottawa. Okay, so Ottawa has like a million goalies I could have choose. I could have chose Decord. I could have chose Hogberg. I could have chose Murray. I could have chose Forsberg. I chose Gustafsson. Not because I think he's going to win the Vezina, but because me and LeBlanc James, one of my good friends on TikTok, thought that he was probably the best goalie out of the whole Sens. 9 games, he's not winning the Vezina, but 9 games played, 5, 1, and 2. He really proved this season that he is going to be someone Ottawa wants to keep around. Absolutely. They want to keep Gustafsson around and see what he can do. Maybe put him in the backup role, or maybe even the starter role next season for the Sens. I think Decord and Gustafsson might be your goaltending tandem, because I think Murray, although I think he has a little bit more term left, I don't know if he gets exactly freed off from Seattle. And I mean, Hogberg, we already confirmed he's not getting re-signed, so he's going to free agency. So we could very well see that tandem happen. Who knows? But I'm not the future, so I have no idea. Carter Hart for the Flyers. I could have put Elliott on here, but I decided to put Hart because I felt like he was better than people said he was. 27 games played, 9, 11, and 5. Hear me out. This man, I don't blame him. I really don't. I blame him a little bit. Like 20% of, his play is his fault. I think the other 80% goes to the blue line that has been terrible. 2-on-1s on power plays. 2-on-1s on your own power plays. 3-on-0s on your own power plays. I've seen that too. I've seen so many 1-on-0 breakaways or 2-on-0 or 1-on-0 or however many on none against the Flyers. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that. So I really don't blame Hart. I really, really don't. I don't blame Elliott either, although Elliott wants to stay, but I don't think he probably walks. But yeah, I don't blame it on Hart. He's young as hell. We got to remember that. And I think he'll definitely bounce back next season. Tristan Jarry is up next for the Pittsburgh Penguins. 39 games played, 25 wins, 9 losses, and 3 overtimes. For me, he's really the dark horse for the Vezina. People are going to put Vasilevsky and Campbell and Grubauer and other guys like that over him. And yes, I agree, they probably are better. But I think he very well could be a dark horse for that Vezina final spot. I'll be honest with you. I think he very well could be. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But nonetheless, if he doesn't win it or not, Jarry has been great this season. Just take the playoffs and throw it in the trash. Saros has been great. Or not Saros. Jarry has been great. We only have a couple more goaltenders left. Let's start off with Martin Jones of the San Jose Sharks. 34 games played, 15, 13, and 4. Not very the best season out of Jones. I think he is better than people preview him as. But yeah, I think next season we'll see him and see if he gets his final chance in San Jose, which is what I think. Jordan Binnington, 42 games played, 18, 14, and 8. No, Binnington is the most overrated goalie, in my opinion. I feel like a 6x6 contract is not going to work for them. They're going to regret that. They're going to regret that in probably like 2 or 3 years. Maybe even 1. I have no idea. So, we'll see what happens there, but I can't wrap myself around that. Vasilevsky's up next for the Tampa Bay Lightning. The next 2 are pretty obvious that they're probably going to be the top 2. 42 games played, 31, 10, and 11. 31, 10, and 1, not 11. He's obviously been an amazing goaltender for the Lightning, and I think he's definitely going to be a contender for it, and he probably wins it. I'll be honest. Jack Campbell's up next for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 22 games played, 17, 13, and 2. He came in during that Anderson injury and won like 12 in a row. Then he lost 2, won a couple more, then lost a couple in overtime and stuff. Yeah, this man has been great, and I think he definitely will be one who contends for it. And he's been great in the playoffs, and you know what? Tomorrow could be the end of some bullying with Toronto. I'll just be honest. I don't know if... Yeah, I don't really know. Thatcher Demko is up next for the Montreal Canadiens. Because I have Toronto, Montreal. You know what I mean. Thatcher Demko is up next for the Vancouver Canucks. 35 games played, 16, 18, and 1. He's been all right. I think he's been better than people preview him as because, Vancouver was just a dumpster fire all season. So, we'll see what happens there. But nonetheless, I think Demko was a great goalie. This is actually after I made the rest of the clips. I forgot about Vegas. Silly me, forgot about him. So here's Marc-Andre Fleury's stats because I think he would be the goalie that could win it. 36 games played, 26, 10, and 0. Great goalie nonetheless for Vegas. He's been solid for them. I think that, Leonard's been good too. But yeah, I do think Vegas can, very well win the Cup. And you know what? They can very well win the Vezina too. Fleury can win it. He could be one of the final 3. I don't know if I put him over Campbell and Vasilevsky and Grubauer, though. But, I'll leave that for you guys to decide. So, anyways, I'll get back to the last 2 teams. And finally, with the final 2 teams of the Vezina, we have Ilya Samsonov. 19 games played, 13, 4, and 1. You could argue Vitek Vanacek in that column. But I'm going to put Samsonov because I think he was the better out of the 2. I know a lot of people arguing with me, but I just really do think that Samsonov was better. Vanacek could very well win the Calder, though. That's the big thing. Finally, Connor Hellebuyck for the Winnipeg Jets. 45 games played, 24, 17, and 3. He's been good for the Jets. Kind of, it was meh because, look, 24-17, I don't know if that's Vezina caliber. And when he's not good, the Jets aren't good. So I'll be completely honest with you there. But yeah, he's looking good in the playoffs. Hey, Jets fans. Hey. But yeah. Anyways, let me know who you think's going to win the Vezina down below. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Thank you for everyone who stuck around to the end of this video. This video is long as hell. I know that. I tried speeding it up at the end, but it's kind of hard to talk about something like this without making it about a half hour long. So yeah, thank y'all for watching. Thanks for all who stuck around. And yeah, I will see you guys, in the next video.